Me? A woman? Can you imagine? Maybe you can. That's why I keep my stash on. Hi, I'm Matthias, and this is my soul perspective. I'm gonna take you through one of my first past life experiences today. But before I get into that, I'm actually working as a regression therapist and a hypnotherapist. So I help people with phobias and boosting their confidence through hypnosis and stop smoking too, making the world a less smoky world, I suppose. And also as a regression therapist, where you really, mostly people think about going back to past lives. I do that. I love going back to past lives and memories. But you can also work in this life, healing childhood traumas and stuff like that. We've all had different experiences in lives as, different genders. You don't just enter every reincarnation as a man or as a woman, you switch it up because your soul wants to experience different things. We both have manly parts of ourselves and feminine parts, and each human being has that. I think it's quite well integrated in myself. So it's not a super surprise that I've had different genders, but it was at the time, of course. Before I get into that story, I have to sort of start in this life, because I would say about 15 years ago I had a girlfriend. We're not together anymore. She's got a great guy. I'm liking great guys too, actually. So this turned out to a coming up video. But back then we sort of had a contentious relationship regarding a bicycle helmet, because she always wanted me to wear the bicycle helmet, and I kind of look like the Super Mario mushroom, the big one. So she would fight with me a lot. She was so stubborn and so she would not back down from having me wear the helmet. Well, anyway, so cut to a few years after that, when we had broken up, and I went to see a regression therapist, because I was always so curious about everything having to do with, not this physical realm and stuff like that, like the spiritual side of life. And also I had read a lot of Brian L. Weiss books. So this therapist, she just took me down this elevator. You can go through a mist as well. I love the mist. The mist is the best. I'm gonna take you through the mist one day too, I think. So I went through the elevator, and all of a sudden I'm this petite, blonde woman. I was somewhere in America. I would say probably Louisiana. It's not like watching a movie. It's more like, subtle. You feel, or you remember, or you sense. That's pretty much what going through a past life is. But it was very clear. I could see myself having this blonde hair, petite frame, and like the 50s vibes of everything. And it was this beautiful field. The sky was blue and the birds were chirping, and I was holding this big handsome guy. And it turned out to be my girlfriend from this life, but incarnated as a male in that life. And we were a couple, and we were going down pretty fast. I could feel the wind moving through my hair, and all of a sudden there's this huge crash. We've crashed into this big truck, and I'm launched to the ground and crack my skull, and I'm laying there in his arms dying, and the blood's coming, and it was just such a huge trauma. And of course, for her, my girlfriend, seeing that and watching that, and it sort of just, that memory just sort of kicked alive regarding the helmet and being on a bike. So that was why she was giving me such a hard time. So I had a lot of compassion for that. So I didn't tell her right after I had done this. But I think a few months later, she called me and she said she had been going to this regression therapist in a totally different city. And she told me about this life when she was this handsome man. And she told me the same life that I had experienced, but from her perspective. So when I told mine, it was just, of course it's true. Because people think, it feels like you're making stuff up. A lot of clients say that. And of course, how would you know? It has to pass through your five senses. That soul memory, so it feels like it's coming from your creative imagination. When you make stuff up, you don't remember it. I remember this I did it yesterday, and it was 12 years ago. That sort of give it some credence, I guess. Is credence the right word? I don't know. It sort of backs it up, Well, anyway, you can do past lives this frivolous adventure where you don't seek out to like heal something, but you can also use it like a way to heal past traumas and stop them from inflicting your life today. And that's probably what I'm most passionate about. And it doesn't have to be just in past life, but you know, we've had a lot of lives. There's very, you know, few people that have just had a couple of lives. I mean, those are really immature souls, but even those souls have had a lot of lives. But you know, I think I'm going to talk more about that in the next video, how you can heal stuff, because I had the worst motion sickness you can imagine. I couldn't go in a car, you know, going with the bus driver, I was always up front, you know, I could never like look down at people who would read or like, sleep. I would get so sick and like puke. I think that's my story about being a woman in a past life, sort of the trauma of that. And please like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell, you know. Do you believe in past lives? I guess maybe you do because you're watching this, or maybe you're on the fence. What kind of life would you have liked to have had? And also I'm gonna leave a link below in the description where you can sign up and get a chance to participate in my free webinar where I'm gonna talk more about past lives and give you a demonstration where I'll take you through the mist. If you want to visit I just started this Instagram page too. I'm talking like I'm 112 years old, and probably, maybe I am. It's called Matthias Soul Perspective there as well. So anyway, bye.